Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now and you guys are able to hear me properly. If there is any problem with my audio or the video, please let me know. There was some problem in the room that I was shooting the class today, so I had to change the room, so I had to change the mic and everything as well. Can someone please let me know if there is any problem with my audio? Like the major problem was with the audio itself. I had to change the mic today. Are you guys able to listen to me properly? Are you guys able to listen to me properly? Yeah, so my voice is proper. Okay, so then there's no problem with that. Okay, so it may be possible that in the middle of the entire thing my video might go away because there is some problem, like the charge for my mobile is also very less. Okay, is a lot of noise. Let me just check it. Okay, so let me do one thing. I will just remove the audio capture itself. Let me just see to it. So the audio capture is there, filters, remove, yes, remove, yes. Okay, so I think so now it should be fine. Let me just check it. Let's remove the voice. I think so. No, this is also not proper. Let me just check it once. Properties and that filters. Let me just remove this as well. I think so now it should be appropriate enough. I don't know. Hello, 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 hello. I think so this should be clear right now. I think so this should, my voice should be clear right now. Let me just check it once. Appropriate. Hello. I think so this should. Yeah, so I think so now it is appropriate enough and you guys are able to listen to me properly as well. Yeah. So let's get started guys with the entire project that we want to do today. Okay, I hope now everything is very clear and everyone is able to listen to me properly. If there is still any problem with the entire audio, please let me know. But I think so now it should be appropriate enough. Do let me know guys. Yeah, so I think so now it is appropriate. Yeah, I think so it should be appropriate right now. Am I right? Okay, that's great. So people are able to hear me properly. Okay, so let's get started with the entire project. Let me just show you what we are going to build today. We will be doing a small portfolio site. So let me just open up Canva. So what we are going to do today is a small portfolio site for Dwayne Johnson. So maybe Dwayne Johnson, just like The Rock, contacted you to make a portfolio site for him. So that is what we are going to do today. This is the portfolio site that we are going to work upon, and this is what we are going to build today, like a very simple portfolio site for The Rock, who is going to learn HTML and CSS. For those who are facing any problem with the audio, I am speaking a bit louder as well. If you are still facing any problems, please wear a earphone or something like that. I don't think so there should be any problem right now. Okay, so this is the portfolio site that we are going to build today. like I'm facing a lot of problems today, so please be very patient with me. Like I said, like my room was destroyed yesterday night, so I had to do everything right now, and I'm having a blinding light in just my eye itself. I'm not even able to look directly into the camera. So please be very patient. Please try to understand what I'm trying to say to you guys. Okay, this is what we are going to build today: a website for Dwayne Johnson. I don't think so there should be any copyright issues, but there may be something that can happen. Okay, so for those people who had said yes for the entire thing, they will be getting the calls from tomorrow or day after tomorrow from our team, and some of the calls I will also be making. So let us see how many people I am able to talk to. Okay, so this is our main aim for today. This is what we are going to create today. Our main aim is to complete this particular website. We'll be trying our best to build something that is as close to this as possible. Okay, so let's get started, guys, right away. We will not be wasting any more time. Okay, so let's get started. We will not be using Bootstrap or anything like that. We'll be hard coding it in HTML and CSS. So that is the best thing. So we'll be coding it. Whatever we have learned up till this particular point of time, we will like try to build upon it, try to understand everything, and build this entire like website itself. Okay, please be very patient with me because it's a huge thing. Okay, you have to build the entire HTML and CSS both at the same point of time in just 1.5 hours. So we do not have a lot of time. Okay, this video will be recorded. This will be present on the like your what can I say, YouTube itself. The how to submit the project, the time limit to submit the project, everything I will be telling at the end of today's video. So please do not keep asking that, sir, when we have to submit the project, how to submit the project. If someone is asking in the live chat, please be of a great help to me and just write over there that sir has told that we will be doing like he will be discussing that at the end of the entire like today's class itself. Okay, so be ready. There's a lot that we have to cover in a very small period of time. We'll try to make the entire thing, and that would be it. This will be the project that you guys will be making by your own using the help of this particular video itself. Please be very patient, please be very careful, please understand and listen to what I'm saying. I will not be able to repeat this time again and again because there's a lot that we have to cover in just one video itself. So that is one of the things that I wanted you guys to know. I will just increase the brightness of my screen. I'm not able to see it. Okay, and the screen as well. Okay, so let's get started, guys. I will just name the REPL as project new, and the REPL will not be provided. So anyone who is asking like, sir, will the REPL be provided or something like that, no, code will not be provided to you guys. You will have to take reference from this video because I will be going through each and every line of the code in this particular video. You'll have to take reference from this video and write the entire HTML and CSS on your own. So that is something I am being very clear with. Otherwise as well, at the end of the entire like today's class, I will be telling you guys how you will be able to submit the projects. Those people who will be submitting the project, only those people will be actually getting the AWS certificates. Anyone who is not submitting the projects will not be able to get the AWS certificate. Okay. Okay, so let's get started right away, guys. Let me just remove the entire like things that are not necessary for us. Let us remove the JavaScript as well. We will not be using any type of JavaScript. Let us just delete the entire file so we do not have to confuse ourselves. I will be importing some pictures. Okay, so you can use any picture from your end. Okay, but right now I'm just creating a website for Dwayne Johnson. So I'm just using some of the images that I already have. So this one will be for the logo. So build the belief, and we want Dwayne Johnson as well on our screen. So let us take a Dwayne Johnson picture. Let me just see to it. Untitled design 4. So Dwayne Johnson as well. So we have uploaded the two images that is what we are going to use. Let us see the entire thing. So we are having one logo on the top left corner or in the navigation bar. So in the nav bar itself, we are having the logo for the website, and we are having one image of the person whom the website is. You can use your very own like image. Okay, you can upload your own image and use that as well because it will be your portfolio itself. So this image and the logo. So those are the two things that I have uploaded right over here. This is the logo that I have uploaded, and this is the entire Dwayne Johnson image that we have uploaded right now. Okay. So again and again I am telling to you guys that the certificates take at least 1 to 2 weeks to be sent away. Okay, it takes a lot of period of time, so please do not keep on asking about the certificates. It takes a lot of time from our part, because there are 3,000 projects that have been submitted, and out of that 2,000 projects are coming out like there's some problem with that particular project. So we have to check each and every project, figuring out that if that particular person has done it or not. And this is done by a team of like 3 to 4 people itself. So it takes a lot of time to go through all the projects and then give out the certificates. So it will take time. Please be very patient with it. Okay. So you can use any type of logo. This logo that I've used is just by a Google search itself. I just wanted a case study, so I just took like Dwayne Johnson as a case study itself, one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. So that is the thing, you can choose it. So this is the company, like not a company, like a Project Bull or something, like Project Rock is the name of this particular project, and it's in partnership with Under Armour. So huge fan of Under Armour, so I thought that let's do upon that itself. You can choose any company, you can make your own logo as well and have your own like branding, your own picture as well. That's totally up to you. Okay. So this images are something that I found on YouTube, on Google Images. The background and everything that I created personally on Canva. So you can do that on Canva if you are having. Okay. So let's get started. What about attendance? So those people who have 5 to 7 days of attendance will be getting the Shape AI certificate, and only those people who are having 7 days of attendance as well as the project submitted, only those people will be getting the AWS certificate. I am being very clear about it. Please now do not interrupt, because there's a lot that we have to cover in a very short period of time. I want this project to be done with, because it's an amazing project, as you are able to see. So first of all, let's rename the title itself, because we do not need a title. We need something like a personal portfolio. So let us name it as The Rock Resume. Okay, let us name the entire website as the Rock Resume, or like The Rock Resume. Okay, that is much more appropriate enough. So now that we have we'll just open the entire website in a new page, so that we are able to see the changes done to the website live. And this is the website that we have created. As you are able to see, I have put up the title, The Rock Resume, in the title itself. Now let us see what we can do. Okay, so first of all, we have imported the CSS style sheet. Okay, as you are able to see, we have imported the CSS style sheet. The first thing we want to do in the style sheet is, can someone let me know how to change the content box to border box? What is the entire code that we use to change the content box to border box? Can someone let me know in the live chat? Can someone let me know the live chat, in the live chat, how to change the content box into border box? Can someone write the answer in the live chat, guys? Box sizing, border box. That's great. So people remember. So we'll write box sizing, and then we want to change it to border box. Okay, that is the first step always. Okay, box sizing to border box. Now once we have done it, just like it won't show any errors or anything to us, we can go back to HTML. Now we need to first start with the entire nav bar. Okay, let us just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so go to full screen. So as you are able to see, first of all, in the entire website, in the top, you are able to see that we need to have a nav bar that is available right over here. We need to create a nav bar and then a content section. So there are two parts to it. We can draw two boxes right away. One will be in the nav bar itself, and the second one will be the content portion that we are having. That is the image and then the heading and everything. So let us look at what we can do right over here. We will just go into the body of the entire thing. Are you guys able to understand up till this particular point of time? We haven't done a lot, but I hope that there is no problem up till this particular point of time. So what we can do is we can divide the entire section, like entire content and everything, into two different sections itself. We'll put the entire thing into a section ID main. Okay, so we'll put up a section. So section is similar to div. Okay, section is similar to div for whenever you are using some kind of nav bar or some box type of property. It is better to use sections because sections take the entire width of the page. So use sections wherever necessary. So we'll choose main, name it as main, and then we'll put up the entire, like we'll just close off the section as well. So inside the section, first of all, we need to create the nav bar. That is the main thing. So for the nav bar, there is a semantic element that we can use, that is nav. Okay, nav is a semantic element that has been created in HTML, just like you are having your h1, h2, h3. So you can use the paragraph tag, change it into like the font that you want, font size that you want, the font type you want to make it bold, and that will look very similar to the h1 tag. But you also have a semantic h1 tag that you can use directly. So our main goal right now is to directly use the semantic tag. Here we'll be using the nav semantic tag, that is the semantic tag for nav bar. Okay, so let me just clean my specs, I'm not able to see anything. Okay, so in nav bar, first of all, what we want to do is we want to create a particular logo. So first of all, we will be creating the nav bar. So we have created the nav bar semantic tags. Inside the nav bar semantic tags, what is the first thing that we are having? We are having the logo, and then we are having a group of different pages that we want to have, and then we are having a say hi, like something. How can we understand this as? We are having a link click, something like that. Like whenever you are having, like whenever you give the a tag to a particular, like href tag to a particular font, then you are able to hover over it and there is some kind of like underline and then another color coming. So you want to have that right over here. This is just a link, and these are all the different like symbols that we are having, like the simple different pages that we want to go. So let us try with that. Let us start. So the first of all, we need to have a particular logo that we need to have. Of course, when you are clicking on the logo, it is very common that it's taking you back to the home page itself. So we want to have a particular logo on which when we are clicking, it takes us to the home page. So what we can do right over here is we can have a tag, and let me just put, okay, what is happening right over here. So we are having an a tag in which we are having href is equals to, and we want to be on this particular page itself. So right now I'll just put up a hash. You can take it to any of the pages when you are having the entire like URL for your web page. Right now let's take up it as a hash, okay, so that you can modify it as you like. Then we'll have a class is equals to logo. Let's name it as logo, so that we can change the CSS property later on, and you have to close this as well. So first of all, we'll be closing the a tag. Inside of the a tag, we want to have the logo itself. So for the logo, we will have the image tag, image src, and the source of the image, we'll have to copy this name of the image itself. So name, copy, and we'll go back and paste the name right over here. Then we want to have some like alternative description for that. So alt tag. So inside of that, I can just write the logo of Project Rock. Okay, so I have created the logo of the Project Rock. So I have named that as that. So that is it. Okay, I have inserted an image upon which when we are clicking, it is taking us to nowhere else. We can put the entire like thing as this particular website itself. So I will just copy the entire website and paste it right over here. That is one of the options, but currently I'm just like keeping it as a hash because later on when we are putting it up on GitHub, we can just change that. I will be like hosting this entire thing on GitHub. So up till that particular point of time, let's just have the image tag itself. I'm reloading it. You will be able to see that the entire image is coming right over here, and there is like when I'm hovering over it, I am able to click on it and it is taking me to this particular page itself. So that is the entire thing that we have made up till this particular point of time, but it does not even remotely look similar to the entire nav bar that we are having. So but let's try to keep on continuing to make something out of it. Okay, so let's move on. So we have seen the entire like image, we have inserted the image. Now we want to have, let's see, we want to have a menu, we want to have a class. So let us see what we can do. So basically here we are having, as you are able to see, we are having 3 menus right over here. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are 5. So home, skills, recent, client and contact. These are the different menu options that we are having right over here. We want to insert this into the nav bar itself. So let's start by making a menu right over here. So after this we want to have a menu. First of all, like, let us just try to add menu ul class menu, and we are having an unordered list basically. So we will be creating an unordered list. We want to close it as well, and inside of it we will be pasting our li tags. So we have already talked about the entire how this works, so I will not be speaking of it again. And inside of the li tags we want to have the links to that particular pages as well, because you don't know, you may want to go to that particular page at some point of time. So right now I will just be having a link and href. Inside it I'm just putting up a hash right now so that you can like change it whenever you want. So I will be closing it as well, and inside of it you will be writing your home. So this is home right now, and similarly you will have 4 more of such li tags list items. So let me just put it, and then you are having home, skills, recent, client, contact. So skills, recent, okay, recent, recent, clients, contacts. So these are all the different, like you can change it to skills. Here it would be like skills and everything. So you can go to that particular page or like where the tag is for that particular page itself. But right now let's keep it as simple as possible. So these are all the UL tags that we are having up till this particular point of time. And at the end of it, we want to have one more item at the end of the nav bar itself. That will be your href is equals to, let us just put up a hash right now because we don't know where we want to take it right now, and then class is equals to, let us put it up as hey, and at the end of it we just want to have a hey, say hi. So say hi, that was the last item that we want to add. So that was just a plain text with some type of like link to it. As you are able to see in the entire thing, the last hey, say hi itself is just some kind of a link. When we are like clicking on it, it should just like, it is some kind of link basically. That is what I am able to see from the mockup. So no matter what, we have just put up as a link itself, and let us just run it and let us see how it actually looks right now. So this is what it looks right now. Like we are having a home, skills, recent, clients, contacts, and say hi, and our image, and this entire thing is inside the nav bar itself. Now we want to beautify the nav bar. That is our main goal right now. So let us just once again go through all the IDs and everything that we are having right now. So you are having a section ID main, you are having your nav bar inside the section main. The nav bar does not has any kind of class associated with it. The logo has a class of logo, the menu has a class of menu, and the say hi has a class of say. Okay, so these are all the classes that we are having at this particular point of time. Now we will start with the CSS for this. Okay, so up till this particular point of time, it was very easy. It was the basic like HTML that we were doing up till this particular point of time. Hyperlink, that's right. Okay, so sir, we have to do the project with you. No, you do not have to do the project with me. How to do the project, how to submit the project, that will be done at the end of the entire session itself. So please bear with me. If someone is asking such type of questions, please try to answer them as well. Okay, so thank you so much guys. So first of all, let's start with the body itself. Okay, so first of all, body. For the body, we do not want to have any kind of margins. I want everything to be like spread out across the screen. As you are able to see, it is being spread out across the screen itself. There is no margin for the body. So first of all, margin should be 0. Let us put up the margin as 0 pixels. The second, we want no paddings as well, so there shouldn't be any padding between the body and the items when like the nav bar or something like that. Nav bar should be taking the entire width of the entire screen as well. So let us put up the padding for the body as 0 pixels again. Next, we want to have a common font family for the entire web page, like until and unless specified that, okay, one of the topics that you guys have forgotten to tell you guys is, let me just explain it to you guys. Okay, so one of the main concepts in CSS is actually how CSS takes in different properties, how it works with different properties. Where is my pen? Okay, there is it. So basically CSS works with different properties very differently. Let me just like show you that via an example itself. Just open it up. So try to understand this. This is very important, guys, and very easy to understand as well. Let me just take a blue color. So you are having your country. Okay, you are having your country. I am making a rough diagram for India. Okay, so this is your country. Then you are having a particular state, like for example Gujarat. Okay, so this is the Gujarat state, and then you are having your house inside of the Gujarat state itself. So your house may have some rules. Okay, so that is your USE, house rules. Your state will have some rules, so that is STATE, state, RULES, rules. You will have some national rules. Just a second, guys. Hello. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So you are having your house rule, your state rules, and the national rules. So for example, you have a rule in your house that every Friday you will be going to eat and eat out. Okay, this is your house rule that only applies to the person living inside this house. Okay, this rule will not apply to anyone who is living inside India. Like everyone in India won't go out to eat every Friday. Only your house, the people living in your house will go to eat every Friday, because that is the rule of your house. Whereas there is a national rule. Okay, so for example, there is a national rule like everyone has to pay tax. Okay, everyone has to pay tax. So every person who, whether it be in state or whether it be in a house, they have to pay taxes. Okay, so there is some like, if there is a national rule, then that will be applied to every single one, whether they be in the state, whether they be in the house. And if there is a rule that overrules the national rule, so there is a state rule that says that, okay, in this particular state, like for example in Goa, you have to pay only like 5% tax. Okay, you have to pay just 5% tax. You do not have to pay like 18% tax. Then the people living in this particular state only will be paying 5% tax instead of 18% tax, because you have rewrote on the original tax itself, like the original rule. So the whole country is paying 18% tax, but as your state has a particular rule that overrides it, so your state, the people living in this particular state, will be paying only 55% tax. They will not be paying 18% tax. The same goes for CSS as well. Okay, so for example, if I am having a particular like CSS for the entire body, if I am writing font, okay, to like Poppins, okay, I have fixed the font Poppins. So everything where I am not specifying the default font for the entire unit, the entire container, here it is the body, is basically Poppins. So whatever I write will be in Poppins itself, the font will be in Poppins. Okay, but there is some div tag, okay, there is some div tag or there is some paragraph tag. For that particular tag itself, I have written that, okay, for this tag itself, anything that is within it, the font is for example like it, Arial. The font is Arial. For anything within this div tag, the font is Arial. So anything outside that the entire font of Poppins will be applied to anything that is outside the div, but any text that is present inside the div itself will be applied with font Arial, because you have overwritten. As you go down and down, you are overwriting the entire property, entire CSS property. So instead of now being Poppins, now it is font Arial. Are you guys able to understand up till this particular point of time? Are you guys able to understand up till this particular point of time? Guys, please let me know if you guys are able to understand up till this particular point or not. Yeah, it is almost like inheritance property in OOPS as well. Like it's almost very similar to that. Okay, people are able to understand, then that's great. Okay, so let us move on from there. Yeah, it is same as the local variable having more property than the global variable. Exactly. Okay, so let us move on from here so people are able to understand this. So here I am specifying the font for the entire web page itself as Poppins. Okay, so that the default font for the entire web page is Poppins. So Poppins, Poppins. Font Poppins, Poppins. Okay, so I have kept the default font for the entire website as Poppins. The second thing that I want to do is let us go to the entire Nav bar itself. Okay, so let us go to the Nav bar. First of all, we want to see where the Nav bar is contained in. So the Nav bar is contained currently, let us see that, let us go to HTML. The Nav bar is contained inside the section ID main. Okay, so Nav bar is basically inside the section which is having an ID of main. So first of all, we will need to change that. So let us go back to the CSS and let us have the main right over here. So main is the class. Okay, main is the ID or the class. Let me just see that. Main is an ID. So as you are able to see, main is an ID right now. So we will have to put it up as hash main, and then we have to put up the curly brackets. Instead of that, we want the width of the entire section to be 100%. So we will have the width width set up as 100%. Okay. Next, what we want to have is we want to have a height of, let us say 100 VH. Okay. So let us take up the height as 100, like 1 by 100 VH basically. So height, we will take it up as 100 VH. Okay. Next, what we want to have is we want to have the position relative. Okay, because we want to keep it in case of the entire, like we do not want a flex or anything like that. Relative is one of the other positions as well. So with respect to the entire screen, the entire main will always be on the top. So we want to have it relative to the entire screen itself. So position, let us keep it as relative itself. So we have the main function or the main ID already done. So let us just run it and let us see how it looks right now. Okay, so not a lot of changes has been done. No problem in that. Let us continue with the same. Okay, so now let us come to the nav bar. Okay, now for the nav itself, we will have a lot of different properties that we want to assign. As the nav does not has any class, does not has any ID to it, we will directly be using the entire thing on nav itself. So first of all, we want to have the display as flex. That is something that everybody have guessed up till this particular point of time. So display, we want to have it as, display, we want to have it as flex. Okay, so that is something that everybody assumed. We want to have the content spaced around the entire thing. So as you are able to see that there are 3 contents to it. Let us go to the HTML section. We are having 3 contents to it, to the nav bar. The first one is the A tag containing the image. The second one is the UL tag containing all the menus. And the third is the wapas A tag that contains the say hi. Okay, so there are 3 items in the entire nav bar, and we want it to be spaced across the entire nav section itself. So there are it is spaced across the entire section. So to do that, let us just we can use the justify content. So justify content, and let us keep it as spaced around. So spaced around itself. This will space the entire 3 things equally across the entire nav bar. we want to align everything with the center itself. So let us align everything with the center. So align itself, align self, and we will keep that align items. Let's just use the align items instead of align self, and let us keep that as center. Okay, so we want to have the entire thing align itself according to their centers. So that is also something that we will having. The next thing, let us just like, we want to have the position fixed. We do not want the nav bar floating around in the entire screen. So we want to have its position fixed. So let us just write position, and this time we don't want a position relative, we want it fixed. Okay, so that is also done. Next, so why I have done the main, that is something that if you were continuing in the entire like section that we are having, so you will be able to understand that like the entire training and internship program. But still, like, I will just give you a small preview. So this thing, we wanted it to be very relative to each other. Like you can watch it on your mobile phone, you can watch it on your screen as well, like your website as well, on your laptops as well, on your tablets as well. So you wanted to have a relative sizing. Now in the case of a mobile phone, such type of like menu will not work. We'll need to have a menu that expands the, like there's a hamburger option, we are clicking on it and the menu expands to the entire screen. So for that we had the main thing, but no matter what, currently we'll be focusing upon like building for the entire web page itself or the entire laptop itself. Now we want to have the position fixed to the top and the left, so we will fix this according to that itself. So top we want to have it as 0, and for left we want to have it as 0 as well, because like the how to specify the entire, like it is fixed, the position is fixed, but where is it fixed? We want to have it on the top itself, so we'll be specifying like from the top it should be 0, the nav bar, and from the left it should be 0. So everything is 0, so it will be on the top of the entire screen itself at 100% of the time. What should be the width of the entire thing? So of course the width should be 100, so width is equals to 100%. Not able to see percent itself, the light is so blinding. Okay, now what are the different things that we need to have? Secondly, we want to have the background color as white. As you are able to see in this, the background color is white itself. Let us put up the background. Okay, so this background color, and we want to have it as white, so we'll just like type white and that will be it. Let us just run it and let us see how it looks right now. So this is what we have created up to this particular point of time. We are having a nav bar, we are having the image, we are having all the things pasted right over here. We are having the say hi button, although it does not look at all similar to what we needed, but now at least it is in the entire flex area itself. Okay, so next level, what we can do is we can focus upon the image and the like all the UL tags, so that everything is beautified. It comes in the one line itself, just like we want it in this particular video. So let us first focus upon the image. The image is too huge, we want it to be smaller and much more appropriate for us. So let us first see what is the entire image tag itself. So let us go to the index dot. So the image has an class, so image is enclosed in a tag that is having class logo. So inside the logo we want to change the image. So how we can access the image of that particular class itself? So there may be, so when you are going down there will be another image for the section portion as well, where the Dwayne Johnson is just like this. So there are two images in the entire web page. How can we access this image without assigning it a class of its own? How can we do that? We can use a property in CSS in which we are like calling all the tags that are present inside that class itself. So how can we do that? That is very simple. To access this image that is present in the class logo, how can we do that? We just have to go back to the CSS. We just have to write a simple line of code, that is dot logo, that is the class which we want to access, and then inside it we are having the image tag. So we can access the image tag of a particular class by just typing dot logo image, and we are able to access that image itself. We want to fix its height, so HEIGHT height, we want to fix it as 45 pixel. Okay, let us just take it as that. Let us just run it and let us see how it looks right now. Okay, so the entire image is smaller right now according to the nav bar itself, Now we want to change the home skills, recent clients and contacts. That is the main thing that we want to focus right now. Okay. So right now we want to focus upon the UL tag. So what can we do for it? Let me just see. One of the main things that we want is we do not want to have any kind of like dot. Okay, we do not want any kind of dot to be appearing right over there. So for the UL tag, let us do one thing. We will go to the UL tag. In the UL tag, we do not want any kind of dot. So we'll remove dot by list, and let us take up the list style. And we'll change it to none. Okay, so list style none basically says that the black dot that is coming in front of home, skills, recent, clients and contacts, that will be removed. So we do not want the black dots. We'll just type list style none. So we'll just run it. Let us see how it looks right now. So I think so the dots will be gone right now. So there are no more dots right over here. Secondly, what we want to have is we do not want this underline and the fancy stuff in all the A tags. So any links that we are having around a particular, like the A tag, the anchor tag has a property that it converts everything into purple and having an underline under it. We want to remove that as well. So what we can do is we can have another tag for the anchor tag. Okay, and the property that will be specifying is text decoration. So text decoration, we want it as none. We do not want to have any kind of like underline or any kind of purple aspect to it. So anchor tag text decoration none. We'll just run it, go back to the screen, and you will be able to see that everything is right now just as a particular like name itself. It's just purple. There's no underline. There's nothing like that. So up till this particular point of time, I hope that everyone is able to understand everything. We haven't done anything very hard up till this particular point of time. Now we will be going to the nav UL. Okay, so you are having a UL tag inside the nav. So we want to change that right now, and we want to include a particular like flex, because the UL tag itself needs to be in one line. Right now the UL tag is one below the other: home, skills, recent, clients, contacts. We do not want it like that. We want it spaced around in one particular sense itself. So what we can do is we can just have display flex. So it is as simple as that. So display and then flex. So when we have display flex and we are running it, you will be able to see that all the home, skill, recent, clients, contacts are now in one line itself. Okay, so this is one of the main things. Now we want to space everything apart from each other. Okay, that is the main thing that we want to do right now. Okay, so we want to space everything apart from each other. I've taken up 100 VH so that whenever you want to add more contents to the entire page, the entire width or the height of the entire page will keep on increasing. We do not know how many contents that we are going to have. So I've taken up 100 VH just to make sure that there's no type of problem that will be ever happening with you. Okay. So next what we want to do is we want to space them out together or something like that. So let us just see what we can do right now. Up till this particular point of time, we have done the entire thing. Okay, so one of the things that we want to do is we want to have some padding and some margin in between them. So that we have to provide inside UL. So inside UL, you will be having your, let us see, HTML or CSS. Inside UL, so you are having the class as menu, and inside menu you are having your li tag, and then inside the li tag you are having your a tag. So we want to go inside the UL class menu, we want to go inside menu, and then so we first of all we can change it to menu. Okay, first of all, like instead of having UL right over here, let us change it to menu. So dot menu menu, because we are having a class tag itself, and replace that. Secondly, now what we want to do is we want to go inside the menu itself. We want to go inside menu, we want to go inside the li tag, we want to go inside the a tag, the home, like we want to have some margin, some padding associated with the words itself. So how can we access that? We have right now just discussed about it. We can write dot menu menu, then we can go inside the li tag, and then we can go inside the a tag, and inside the a tag itself we want to have like some of the features associated with it. First of all, let's set up a height for the entire words itself. So like the height, let us take it as 40 pixels. 40 pixel, just to keep it a little bit smaller than the image itself. So I've taken up 40 pixels. Next we want to have a line height, so like that is basically the border itself. So line height, let us take it as a little bit more, so like 4 pixels will be more than sufficient. 43 pixels will be more than sufficient. So that basically takes up the entire width. And margin, we want to have like 3 pixels margin would be more than sufficient. Okay, so 3 pixels most probably will be more than sufficient for margin. Next we want to have, see, the numbers that I'm taking is because I have made the entire site previous to this particular class itself, so I'm not eyeballing the entire thing. I have a list of margins, a list of paddings in front of me, so I do not have to look at all the like different things that I have to do. When you are doing it on your own, then you will have to go and select the margin, padding, play with it, see whether it is fitting the entire thing or not. So we want to have a top padding of 0, so padding padding, and we want to have it as 0 pixels for the top, and we want to have 22 pixels on one of the sides. So let us take it as 22 pixels. Next we want to have display again as flex, so display we want to have it as flex. Next we want to have like the font size, so font size, let us check the font size to be 0.8. Okay, so we haven't discussed about REM right now with you guys, so let us take it as like let us take it as 18 pixels right now. 18 pixels will be more than sufficient, I guess, or like 22 pixels. Let us take it as 22 pixels. So 22 pixels will be more than sufficient. We want everything to be in the uppercase itself because it is the like pages, so we want everything to be in uppercase. So what we can do is we can have the text transformation. So text transformation, you can have the entire thing as uppercase, text transform, and we want it to be uppercase. So that is also done. Next we want to have a particular like how thick the entire words are. So for that we can use the font weight itself, that will make the entire thing bold. We can have the font weight and for ND font and then weight, and we'll have the font weight as 500, so it will be like 500 times thicker. Next we want to have the letter spacing, so in between HOME, so H and O, how much space do we want to have? So we will have like letter spacing, so letter spacing, and we want to have the letter spacing as 1 pixel. So let us just run it and let us see what we are able to see from right over here. Okay, so this became huge. Let us just check in terms of EM itself. Let us do 1 EM. Let us keep it as 1.5 EM font size. Let us check that. Okay, this is huge still. Let us change it to 1 EM. 1 EM is more than sufficient according to me. This looks nice according to me. So let us take the entire thing. So this will be more than sufficient. So like home, skills, recent, clients, contacts. When I'm going to the original thing, you are able to see that the difference between the image, if you are able to see, the difference between the image and the entire words is pretty huge when compared to the difference between contact and say hi. So we need to look for something like some of the alternatives so that we are able to have a lot of difference between the image and the words, and a lot of difference between the words and say hi as well. So for that, one thing what we can do is we can just insert a particular object right over here. Like in HTML, we can add one more object between the two things. Like here we can add a default object like span or something like that, and then we can continue with the same. I think so that should work. Let me just see once again. So let us just have a particular like span class itself. So let us take up a span and let us take the class as menu icon. Menu space, let us take as the class as menu space, MENU menu, and then SPACE space. So menu space will be the span, and it will be an empty span, so that just we are able to have some spacing in between them. Just run it and let us see what happens. So as you're able to see right now, the space in between the image and the words have increased, and the space between contacts and say hi has decreased. So I think so this will be the perfect condition for us. Like, I just inserted a span class right over here. As you are able to see, in between them I just inserted an empty span. So now the entire thing, like we have set it to be distributed along the entire entire width of the entire nav bar. So the equal spacing caused the entire like menu to be shifted towards the right. So now it looks a little bit similar to what we need to have. So let us get started with the styling again. Like, we want to have some more styling because this apparently does not look very similar to what we need to have. So next is color. So we want to have some color for the item as well. So let us put up some color. Now this color should be gray in color. So let us just put gray. So let us just try to put gray and let us see what happens right now. So right now it looks pretty similar to what we need to have. If you are able to see from right over here, let me just put it up to full screen. Up till this particular point of time, everything looks pretty similar, except the fact that we need to have this a little bit smaller, I guess. Let us put it up a little bit smaller. So let us put it up as 0.8 em. I think so that should be appropriate enough. 0.8 em, and yeah, so this looks very similar to what we need to have. If you are able to see from right over here, like the everything in the nav bar except the say hi, so we haven't edited it up till this particular point of time, but the image and the menu looks very similar to what we need to have. So this is how actually a web designer works. Okay, you have to, what is a span class? We have already discussed that on the first or the second day. Can someone remind Jani what is a span class? We have previously discussed about it. We discussed the difference between a div class and a span class. Can somebody remind Jani what a span class is in the live chat? That would be extremely helpful for us. Okay. So next we want to style the say hi. Say hi does not look very appropriate enough when compared to the mockup that has been provided to us. Let us now work on say hi right now. Okay, so say hi is basically present in a particular, let me just check. Say hi is present inside a class called as hey. Okay, so say hi is present in hey. So let us change that. We will have .hey hey because it is a class, and we want to have a particular like some of the other things associated with it. Okay, so as you are able to see, span can be used to design. Span next line, it is just for spacing. Span is inline. Yeah, that's the appropriate answer. Span is inline, whereas div take the entire like space of the website. So we use span. Okay, that's great. So let us continue with hey. First of all, we want to have a particular color, so let us change the color to teal. I don't think so teal is appropriate in a cyan. Cyan is also. So let me just put up a hex color itself. So I have previously written down the hex color. Let me just look at it. 39 BF BD. Okay, so that would be the appropriate color. So I've just put up a hex color for the same so that I'm able to match it with everything that I'm having currently. Let us have the font weight. Font weight. Let us have the font weight as 500 again, just like the other things as well. Next, we want to have the font size. So let us take the font size. Font size as 0.9 em, just so that it is a little bit bigger than what we are having in the menu. So that we are having some kind of emphasis over it, and then we want to have like some kind of border associated with it. So basically an underline that we want to have. So let us keep it as a border itself. So border, let us keep it as border bottom. So BORDER, and we want to have it as bottom. But to have the border bottom, the space I think so should be like 2 pixels. That would be more than sufficient. We can put it as solid, so SOLID solid, and we want to have a particular color as well. So let us put the same color of what we are using right over here. So let us just copy paste it. So this will just like beautify the hay according to what we are having right now. So as you're able to see, hay has also been beautified. I think so a little bit bold to it would be suggested according to me. Let us just look at the HTML and let us put bold to it. So strong strong, and here as well strong strong. Let us see what happens when we run it. Okay, say hi. I just removed say right over here. Okay, so here I've just made it a little bit bold so that it looks much more prominent. In the original thing, it is not bold according to me, but like I've just put it a little bit bold so that it just looks much more appropriate enough according to me. Like if it was bold, like that will just look the part. So we have completed with the entire nav bar. As you are able to see, the entire nav bar is now completed. One of the things that you're able to see in the nav bar itself, like let us just continue with the same. We will be able to see it as we progress further. So we have completed the entire nav bar section. What is the next section that we want to have? Next section is the rock section, like where we want to have the entire details of the rock. That is the content section itself. That is something that we want to do right now. So what can be done? Let us see right over here. So after this section, this is over right over here. We want to start writing from the next part of the entire script from right over here. So we are done with the entire menu. We are done with the entire nav section. Now it is the time for the content portion. Okay. So for the content, let us just create a div tag right over here because we want to access the entire website and not just a section of it. So, and let us name as class and content. Let's name it as content. We'll put it inside. We'll just close it. And inside of that, we will be doing all our rest of the work as well. So first of all, we need to have the image. Okay, the image of Rock. I don't know his real name. So let us Dwayne the Rock Johnson. So we need to have his image because it's his website. So first of all, we'll create another div tag. Okay, this time the div tag will name it as class and image. Let us name it as image and we'll just close it as well. So first of all, every tag that you create, for the first thing that you have to do is close it. So that there's no like redundancy to it. You do not have to remember that I had forgotten to close it or something like that. We want to put up an image, src, we'll put up the source, we'll take up the name from right over here. So rename, Control A, Control C, and we'll paste it right over here. After that, we just want to close, like we want to have some alternative text as well, so that our alternative description is there. Rock John, so rock would be more than sufficient, and we want to just close it right over here. So we have got our image tag as well. Let's just run it. Let's see if the image is actually coming on the screen or not. Okay, why is it not coming on the screen? Did I forget to run it? There's some problem with this. The image is not coming on the screen right now. Okay, so let me just see what is the problem. So early on we accessed this particular image by logo and then image. Let me just see if that is true or not. So image, image, image. So we access it by logo and image, so that shouldn't be a problem with us. Next, content div, we are having the div. Is there some problem? Rename, Control A, Control C, and we're putting it up right over here. We are running it. Reload it. There's some problem with the image. Let me just check what is the problem. Is the image not loading? Okay, so the image is there, but just it is too big for us to see. So if the image is there, just the image has come up way to the bottom of it because of the entire, like the image must be too big for it to be shown. Okay, so we will have to adjust the size of the image as well. So you are able to see the nav bar cuts right over here. Okay, so we'll continue with it. I was tense that why does this happen? Okay, no problem with that. So the image is coming right now. The next thing that we want on the screen is the text, the main text that we want on the screen. So the next div tag that we'll be creating inside the content will be the text tag. Okay, so div class, let us name it as main text. And let us just first of all close the div. Okay, inside the main text we'll be having your h1 tag first of all, like where we want to specify the name of the particular person. So let us have the h1 tag. Inside the h1 tag we'll have hello. What was the entire text? Let me just see. Hello, comma, I am the rock. So that is the entire text. So hello, comma, I am the rock. Okay, so that is the text right over here, and we want to have some paragraph as well associated with it. So first of all, let us close that, and then we want to have something written right over here. Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a responsive personal website using dumbbells and bricks. Let us keep that. Hey, in this video I will be showing you guys how to build a website using only HTML and CSS. So we have created the entire like p tag as well, and the next what it is, let us just we want to have a button as well, see my portfolio. So let us change that, like at that particular point of time I was thinking about something else. Let us change that to but not a button, but we'll convert it into a button later on. First of all, let's have it as a like anchor tag itself, and we will convert it as to see my resume. That would be much more appropriate enough for us. Let us convert it into an anchor tag, href. You can link your entire like PDF of the resume right over here. So we'll just keep it as hash right now. Whatever resume that you are having, you can keep it right over here. Then the class, we'll just keep it as resume button btn, and we want to have particular, like first of all we want to close it. First of all, we will not be forgetting about that, and see my resume. Okay, so that will be entire things. S should be capital right over here. So that would be it according to me. All the things have been mentioned. We are having our h1 tag, we are having the paragraph tag, we are having the button tag as well. So not the button tag but the a tag right now. So we are having hello, I am the rock. In this video I am going to be showing you guys how to it's happened not how, HOW, how to build a website only HTML and CSS, and then see my resume. The link is also being coming to our screen. So next we want to beautify it. This looks like garbage, so we need to first of all like beautify it a lot. Let us go back to our HTML like CSS file, the main file where we will be like styling the entire web page right now. So first of all, we need to convert the entire like image to fit on the screen itself. It shouldn't go beyond the screen. So let us do one thing. We will have the dot. First of all, what was the entire? Let us go to the HTML. We are having the image that was present inside the class image itself, and then we want to go to img inside the class. So let us go back to that particular image class. Okay, so first we have to go back to the image. First of all, we will go to the image tag itself. So that is the div class image. So for that, let us go img image, and we want to change first of the few things. We want to have the width of the image div as 500 pixel. We want okay, I have not specified the width. So first of all, we want to have the width, width width as 500 pixels. That will be more than sufficient according to me. 500 pixels. Next, we want to have the height as also 500 pixels. Let us keep it as a square itself. So HEIGST height as 500 pixels. So that would be it for image. Next, what we want to have for the image present inside the image class. That is something that we want to have. So image image, and in that we want to have the img tag that is present. First of all, width. We want the width to be 100% with respect to the image tag. So the image tag is having 500 and 500 height and width. So with respect to that, it should be 100% width, so that it is covering the entire 500 by 500 pixels. Next, we want to have the height also as 100%. So HEIGST height. We want to have the height as the 100%. So that would be something. Next, we want to have the object fit contain. Okay, so object fit, we want to be it in contain. We do not want it to overflow the entire thing. Okay, we want it to be contained inside the image class itself. So when we are running this, let us see what happens right now. Let's go to our web page. Let us see what happens. Okay, so as you are able to see, there's still some problem with the entire this gap that is coming. We'll look into it. But one of the best things is that now the image is smaller. Okay, it's not taking up the entire web page itself, but that's it. So we have got the image right now. So that is one of the best things. Next, let's move on to the next thing itself. Okay, so the next thing that we want to have is content. So the content that we are going to have, let us see what happens in the content itself. So the content class, that the div tag that contains everything. First of all, the main thing that we want to have, we want it to be flex. We do not want it to be like one below the other. So first of all, we'll change it to flex. So let us go back. We'll start with the content, content content. We want to have the let us just have some space right after this, just to maintain some type of consistency in the entire document. So first of all, display should be flex. So display, we want to have the display as flex. That was the first thing. Second, we want the width. As you are able to see, it's not taking the entire width of the page. It's keeping it within 90% of the width itself. So let us take it as width 90%. So width, let us keep it as 90%. Next, what we want to have is justify content. So we want it to be spaced out first of all. So justify content, and we want it to be spaced out. So spaced around will be the major option that we selected in the nav bar as well. Next, we want to center everything with respect to the center itself. Everything should be spaced around the center itself. So we'll have align items. So align items, and then center would be the option that we want to select. Next, what we want to have is is it going to be relative with the screen itself, or it needs to be absolute, where it has been fixed, it is there itself. So we will take it to the absolute itself. So position, we want to set it as absolute, not relative. Next, what we want to have is let me where it should be positioned. So right now it is coming way down in the bottom. So let us put up as left. Let's put up as 50%. Let us see what happens right over there. And from right, we want to put it up as 50%, and let me see what happens right now. So now the entire thing is still at the bottom of the web page, but let us see what we can do. The next thing that we want to add is a transform property, just so that everything is aligned itself in the translate. So translate, we'll have it as minus 50% and minus 50% itself. This is just to make things beautiful. That is something that you do not have to do, but still just that comes with practice itself. The more that you will be practicing about it, the more you will be able to understand all these type of things. Okay, so let us move on. So up till this particular point of time, we have put up the content as well. That is something that we have done. Now we want to look at the entire image itself. Still the image is something that is at a position that is so below the entire thing. So what we can do is we will just remove the height 100 VH. Right now let's try to remove 100 VH and let's see what happens. So let us remove that. Okay, so failed to connect. retrying. Just give me a 2 seconds. Okay, now it should be ready. So let us rerun this. Okay, so we need to have some kind of space because like it is coming way down below. Let us keep the height as not 100 VH, let us keep it as 10 VH right now. Let us see if that works. Okay, so 10 VH works, but still it is not coming in the same line, like still it is like down one below the other. We have the display as flex, I suppose. The display flex is not working right now. What could be the problem? Let us try to figure that out. Content should have worked properly. Let me just see about it. Okay, so this is missing right now. Let us just run it once again. Okay, still it is not working. Let us see in the inspect element if there is some issues that are coming right now. So there are no issues as well. Okay. Let us see if everything is working properly. Styles, let us see that as well. Border box, display box. Okay, what about this? So object contain, box sizing, width, everything is coming absolutely perfect. There's no fault with this as well. What about content? It should have been display block, address article, div. So there's this particular problem, user agent style shade display block. It is by default the entire div section is blocked. So let us do one thing, we'll convert the entire div section into a section as well. Instead of having it as div, let us convert this div to section. Let us see what happens after that. So we'll convert the entire div to section and then let's just check if it worked properly or not. Still it is not working. Okay, so the main problem that we are currently having is the flex is actually not working. Address article, div, side, HR group, layer, main, nav, section is basically coming in the okay, so this is a user agent thing that is happening right over here. This shouldn't be a problem, but let us try to take the entire thing. The content should be content. Is there a spelling mistake that I have done right over here? Yeah, so I have taken the entire thing as capital and here I have taken it as small. What will happen? Okay, so now it is working absolutely fine, but everything went haywire after that. So we need to increase the VH to 100 VH. So the main problem that we were having is that we used I wrote right over here as capital CONTENT. And right over here I had written small CONTENT. Okay, so that was the entire problem that was happening. Okay, thank you so much guys, that's great. So we will change the height back again to 100 VH. Okay, as you are able to see, I have changed the height back again to 100 VH. We'll go back to our screen and we'll reload it. And so again 100 VH is too much for the entire thing, so let us change it to 50 VH. I think so 50 VH should be more than sufficient. Let us change that to 50 VH. Let's come back and reload it. So 50 VH is absolutely perfect. Everything is aligning itself absolutely beautiful. Okay, so 50 VH will be more than sufficient for it. Next, what we want to do is have some kind of a background color for the same. Right now the background color is not so good, so let us try to have some background color. So let us see what we can do for the same. Okay, want to have some background color associated with the entire thing. So what can we do? Is there any background color associated with the same? No, there's no background color. Just so the main thing is, first of all, I thought that there is some background color associated with the same, but if I'm putting a hand in between the nav bar and the body, the nav bar and the body is the exact same color. So I think so the entire nav bar has been uplifted. It has brought in the Z axis and has been given a shadow to it. That is what is happening right over here. So both the things are of the same color itself. The body as well as the nav bar are white in color. So the main thing is that there is some kind of shadow associated with the entire nav bar that is giving this dual tone look to it. So let us try to implement that in the nav bar right now. Okay, we want to have some kind of shadow associated with the same so that we are able to do something about it. So what we can do, we have already studied a little bit about box shadow. So to implement box shadow, I can just write box shadow, and we want to have a box shadow of like, let us take it up as in bottom or something like that, or let us take it in the all direction itself, 5 pixel, 10 pixel and 30 pixels. So that would be more than sufficient, and we will have a color associated with that as well. So let us take the RGB color as RGBA color. Let us take the RGBA color. So having just the RGBA color, so that is the green, red, green, alpha, blue, and red, green, blue, and alpha. Alpha is basically the transparency. Okay, how much transparent do you want the entire thing to be? You don't want a black color line just. So the transparency will help you guys a little bit. So let's have like, we want a little bit black line, and that should be very transparent. So that is like 0, 0, 0, and the transparency, let us put it as 0.02. Let us put it as that. So that would be a really transparent line. So let us just run it and let us see what happens. So as you're able to see, there's a little dual tone look that is coming right over here. As you're able to see, there's a little bit dual tone that is coming on our screen right now. So the nav bar and the entire thing, both of them are having the same color, but the dual code is coming right now. Now we'll just uplift the entire thing so that it looks a kind of a 3D. What we can do is we can put the Z index as 1. Okay, so what happens is it will bring the entire nav bar one step closer into 3D itself. So it becomes like a layer, some type of a layer type of effect will be coming right now. Let us just put that. Let us just reload the page. You are able to see a little bit 3D of a feel is coming, like it is coming as if the nav bar is in front and the entire body is in the back itself. Okay, so we have created the entire nav bar and everything. Now what we want to do is we want to style the hello I am rock and the paragraph tag as well as the see my resume button that we wanted to create. So these are only the 3 things that are left, and then it will be over. As simple as that. So first of all, we want to change the content has been done. The main text is something that we want to change. So first of all, for the main text, what we can do, let us just go. So it's named as main text itself. So that contains the entire part, all the 3 things. So we want to first of all keep it within the width. It shouldn't expand. Right now it is just expanding the entire way. We do not want that. We want to contain it within the width itself. So for that, what we can write is just another dot tag. So dot and then main text, that is the class name, and we want to have width as 500 pixels will be more than sufficient according to me. Let us just run this and reload it. So now everything is within that area itself, within a small like 500 width pixel width itself. Next, what we want to do is we want to like just have the H1 button, like we want to change the H1 button itself, beautify the H1 button. So H1 button is again present in main dot text, and then we want to choose the H1 from it, and we want to change that. So first of all, we want to increase the font size. So let us first of all increase the font size, and we want to increase it like by 3 times. So 3.5 em would be more than sufficient. Next, we want to change the color. So a little bit of bluish, like royal blue type of color would be more than sufficient, navy blue or something like that. So let us put up the color as hash 1C 35 48. So that would be more than sufficient for that, a navy blue sort of color. Next, we want to put up some margin around it so that everything, especially the one that is in the below section and from the left hand side, is a little bit having a little bit margin. Let's keep a margin as 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 10 pixel, and then 0 pixel. I think so that will be more than sufficient. And then we want to have a line height. So let us just check. We want to have a line height as well. So let us keep the line height as line height, HEIGST. Let us keep the line height as, okay, so there's a long problem with it. We have put up a semicolon right over here, colon right over here. So 60 pixel will be more than sufficient, I guess. Let us run this. Let us see what happens right now. So hello, I am the rock is coming in one particular line itself, but still, like here we need to have the rock in a separate line. So what can we do for that? Let's see, what if we insert some kind of white space in between the entire thing. Let us go back right over here. The rock, I have some white space, and let us see what happens. Okay, so we can just put a BR break. I think so the break would be more than sufficient. Let us put a BR break and let us see what happens. Okay, now it is perfect. So hello, I am the rock. The entire thing is coming in separate lines, so that will be more than sufficient according to me. Okay, the next what we want to do is we want to have, hey, in this video I will be showing you guys how to build a website using only HTML and CSS. We want to have some as you are able to see, the written portion are absolutely fine. The only thing is that the color for the entire thing is light gray. We want to change it into light gray color. So let us do that right now. So we want to access the p tag inside the main text. So we can do that very easily, and just go right over here. We can go to the main tag. So dot main text, and we want to put it up as h. We want to access the p tag actually. So and we want to just change the color. So let us change the color to gray. This gray will be more than sufficient according to me. Let us check it right now. And this has been gray. Now as you are able to see, this is gray in color. Next, the only thing that is remaining right now is see my resume button. The only thing that is remaining right now is see my resume button. So that will be more than sufficient for us. Like, it will be very easy to just change that. We want to access the dot, what was the name of the button that we had give, resume button. So we want to change the CSS for the resume btn, and we want to change that for the entire like portfolio button itself. First of all, we want to have a particular width associated with it. So width, we want to have a particular width, and the width will be 190 pixels will be more than sufficient. So 190 pixels. We want to have a particular height associated with it. So HEIGST height, let us put that as 44 pixels. Then we want to have the display as flex. We want everything to be in the same line itself. So flex, display, and we want to have the display as flex. Next, we want to have the entire thing, like the words and everything, to be in the center of the button itself. So for that, of course, justify content will be the most appropriate CSS line. So justify content, and we want to put it as center. Next, what we want to do is we want to have all the items aligned along the center as well. So that is also very justifiable. So align items, and then we want it to be in center. Next, what we want to do is we want to have a color associated with the entire like text inside the button itself. So the color would be white. So color, and we want it to be white. Next, we want to have the background color for the button. So background color, let's keep it as hash 1f, and sorry, not 1f, let us keep it as a 1db 096. That will be more than sufficient. And then we want to have some, like the entire button, as you are able to see, the entire button is rounded from both the ends. Okay, so that we want to implement. So that can be implemented by the border radius. Okay, so border BORDER, and we want to have the radius property. Border radius, let us fix it as 20 pixels. That will be more than sufficient because we are having the height as 44 pixels. So just to keep it round around the edges, 44 pixels, 20 pixels, that is half of 44 pixels, will be more than sufficient to create that round. And next, what we want to have implemented is, let's have a, like the button should have a little bit of 3D look. So let us put up a box shadow to it. So box shadow would be something that will put it up. So let's keep it like just like the entire thing itself. So just like the nav bar has the same box shadow, let us keep the same box shadow right over here, just so that everything looks like it's in the same plane itself. So I've just copied the entire box shadow from the nav bar and pasted it right over here. The only thing is, now the box shadow needs to have a, like the shadow color to be in the exact same way in the color of the button as well. So let us put up a RGBA value, and let's put up the RGBA value as 24. comma 139 because we want it to be a little bit green, and 119 because green and blue go hand in hand. We want to have the entire like alpha value to be very less so that the shadow is not very prominent, but it is still visible to us. Now let us go and check the button as well. It's still running. Okay, so once the entire play button has come, then we can go and check, otherwise the changes will not be reflected back again. Let's just run it once again. So I don't know why it is not working, guys. Okay, now it is working. So let us just rerun it and let us see what happens. So we have got the see my resume button as well. Almost everything is done. Just one more thing that I wanted to introduce to you guys is a hover property. Okay, so each particular item, when you are hovering your cursor over it, can have a property called as hover. Okay, when the cursor is around it, so we can change the color of the button, we can do something else with the button as well. So I will just show you two examples for that. So we want to go to the dot resume button, but in the state, so this is called as state of a button. So the state of a button, we want it to be hover. Okay, there are a lot of different states like checked, shadow, and many other things as well. We want to check the state of hover. Okay, in that what we want is that whenever we are hovering over the button itself, we will change the color a little bit. So let us change the background color to be hash and a little bit different to 23 CE. Sorry, CDAF, that will be more than sufficient. A little bit change of color, and we want, so this is an animation. Basically this is a kind of an animation, so you want to suggest how the transition should take place. So transition, we want to transition to be like all ease. That is one of the best transition. Like whenever you don't know which transition is the best, use all ease, that is more than sufficient, and 0.2 seconds will be more than sufficient for the time for the transition itself. Now let us run it. Let's go back to the website. If you are going over the my resume, we will have to reload the resume, but when you are going over it, you are able to see that there is some change in the color as well, as you are able to see. When we go over the button, we are able to see some kind of color change. So this is not a lot prominent, but as you are able to see, this is a small animation that just like beautifies the entire button for the same as well. One other animation that I would like you guys to see is like a little bit for the entire nav bar itself, like the entire like home, skills, recent, clients, contacts. You're not knowing which particular like thing you are hovering over. So we can have a little bit of animation associated with that as well. Let us just see. So let us put up dot. So we want to go to the nav bar. So let us go back to it. We already have like in the nav. We want to go to the menu LIA. So this is the main thing that we want to go. This is just copy that menu LIA, and inside of it we want to select the hover property. Okay. So the state, when it is in the hover state itself, we have selected that. Inside of it, I will change the background color for the same. So let us change the background color. I will change the background color to the same color that we have used right over here, so that like it's just the same color itself. So hashtag and the same color. Then I will have the color of the text COLOR changed to white. That will be appropriate enough because the background color has changed, so the white color would also be good. And let's have a particular box shadow property associated with the same. We'll use the same box shadow property from right over here. We'll not change the box shadow property, we'll use the same one. And we will have a transition, of course, so because it is an animation, we'll use the same transition from right over here. So when I'm running this is the last thing, guys, as you're able to see. When I'm reloading it, I'm going to home, skills, recent, clients, contacts, as same as that, as you are able to see. So this is a small animation that we have set up. So see my resume. So the button is like changing its color. We're having a home, skills, recent, clients, and contacts. So all these kind of stuffs, that is the main thing that we are here for, to learn these small intricacies. How can we make the entire website look much more beautiful? Okay, so that is the main thing that I'm talking about right now. This is what web development is, to just like try different things out. Like we took 1.5 hours approximately to make this website, just 1.5 hours. But the point is, this is one of the very easiest websites as well, but we have done this. Okay, So this is as simple as that. So that is the main thing, guys. It's very easy to learn web development if you are learning it from the right people. Okay, so this is what the entire project is. You just have to create this entire project by yourself right now. Okay, it is very simple. Everything I've gone through in depth in the entire program as well as the entire thing as well. Okay, now I will be sharing the attendance link. Just a second. So forms.google.com. I'll be going to the attendance link. Day 6. I have to open it up in a new tab. Inside of that, the responses, I will be closing it right now. I will be making a copy for the same. We will be having it as day 7. Okay. Another thing, how to submit the project. Okay, we will be putting up a small recorded video. Okay, how to do the project, how to make the project, how to submit the project, every single thing I will be explaining in a short video of like 10 minutes. I will be making it just after this particular class has ended. The link to that particular video will be shared on all the WhatsApp groups. Okay, and I'm repeating it once again, you will have only 48 hours from once you have received the video. Once you have received the video that I'll be sending on all the WhatsApp groups, once the video has been delivered, you will have 48 hours to submit the project after that. Okay, that's it. That's the time frame. So I will be making a small video of 10 minutes that will have like how to make the project and every single thing, how to submit the project and all the different intricacies that we are having. And that particular video you will have to watch it. Okay, you will have to do the entire thing in the similar way itself, and you will be making the same project I have done right now. After the video has been sent to all the WhatsApp groups and all the Telegram channels, you will have 48 hours after that. Once you have received the video on the WhatsApp group, once it has been delivered on the WhatsApp group, you will have 48 hours to submit the project according to how it has been specified inside the video itself, inside the 10 minutes video. Are you guys able to understand? Again, I will just simplify it for you guys. I will be posting a 10 minutes video. I will be making a 10 minutes video and I will be posting it by tonight itself on all the WhatsApp groups and the Telegram channels. It will contain how to make the project, how to submit the project, okay, and how to make the project, how to submit the project, what are the different things that you have to make sure that it is having in the project itself, and what is the entire procedure for the same as well. Once that has been done, okay, we'll be sharing the link to submit the project on the WhatsApp group as well as the video as well on the WhatsApp group. So all the two things will be submitted, we'll be sending it to the WhatsApp groups. Once you have received that, your job is to submit the project according to that itself. Okay, one more document will also be sent to you, like a brochure which will contain everything that you have to use to make the project as well, like all the images and everything. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to look for your own images. And once that has been done, you will have 48 hours to submit the project once everything has been given to you. Okay. Okay. So that's it for the entire bootcamp. I hope that you have enjoyed from it and you have learned something from this. We removed JavaScript from this particular bootcamp because like you saw that there was nothing related to JavaScript in the entire project as well. And the next bootcamp that is there is just based on JavaScript and backend development in Node Js. So we shifted JavaScript to its own bootcamp so that we are able to focus many number of days, because it takes 4 days just to learn JavaScript. So to understand it in its entirety and then to learn Node.js and then to make the project, it will take almost 7 to 8 days to do that. So the next bootcamp is going to start from the 5th of May. All the details have already been shared and I will be sharing the video, the brochure as well as the link to submit the project by tonight itself. Okay, it will take some time on my behalf, but I will surely do that and submit it on the group. Okay, so that's it. I hope that you guys learned something from it. Most of you who are planning to join the data analyst training and internship program or the full stack web development training and internship program, currently there are like 15 to 17 seats left in each of the batches. So if you want to join, there are a less number of seats only available right now. We have the EMI option also available. We have put that up because of a lot of number of students were saying that they need EMI option to pay for the courses. But still, like any help that you need, please reach out to me. I will try my best to help you guys out. And thank you so much for being here. I hope that you learned something from the entire bootcamp. Please spread the news of these type of bootcamps to the rest of the college or to your friends as well. We want to create a community. That is our first preference. That is our first aim. And your help will be absolutely appreciated from our end as well. Thank you guys so much for being here for the past 7 days. I hope that I was able to teach you something important, something that you didn't knew from before. That is my continuous aims, to impart knowledge that students do not have right now. So thank you so much guys, and if you have any questions, any queries, you have my WhatsApp number, you can reach out to me. There are many times I'm not able to pick up the phone. There's a lot of reasons. I have to work in the morning to the evening at my job and then I come back home, I create all these boot camps and everything. At night I want to eat and rest a little bit. So usually whenever I'm able to get some time, I always answer the questions back as soon as possible. Sometimes it takes a day, but I try my best to answer all the questions. If someone has been offended by that, I'm really sorry. I try my best to help you guys as much as I can. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you will be completing the project, because hands-on learning is something that is very important. If you're not doing it hands-on, then you will not be able to learn a lot from the entire thing as well. Coding is everything about practice. The entire program that we have created, the data analyst training and internship program, we have like 2 to 4 hours of class every single day, so that you guys are able to practice everything that you are learning. So thank you so much guys, and always remember, there's no alternative to hard work. You will always have to work hard to achieve what you want. Okay, thank you so much guys, and if you want, we'll meet in the data analyst training and internship program or the full stack web development training and internship program. Otherwise as well, you will be seeing me a lot in the boot camps, organizing different boot camps on different topics. Your suggestions are absolutely welcome. We'll try to release a Google form as well, where your suggestions will be very highly valuable to us. Stay tuned for the next bootcamp. We'll be releasing the details of the next bootcamp by today or tomorrow on all the WhatsApp groups. There are next 2 bootcamps that are going to happen from the 5th of May. The first one is JavaScript and Node Js, that is backend web development using JavaScript. We'll be learning JavaScript in that first of all, and then moving on to Node Js. The second bootcamp that we are having is Python and deep learning. So we'll be learning Python, we'll be learning a little bit of AI and data science, and then we'll be diving deep into neural networks and having a project in that as well. All our boot camps always have a project. It just depends upon the quality of the students that we are having. If the quality of the students is as good as you are there, then we'll be having a good project. But sometimes what happens is, many students are like, we are tired, and we are not able to cover a lot during the entire boot camp as well. So we had to decrease the quality of the last project. But we always try to bring up a project that you can include in your resume. This was a small example for that. I hope that you were able to learn something, and thank you so much for being here, and have a great night ahead. Okay, thank you guys.